Good morning, everyone. This is Tim with CrushIQ, and I am following up on the case studies that were released this morning that are specific to real estate. And I wanted to just take a little bit more time and elaborate a little bit about what each of these case studies are, share a few more details with you, and try to answer a few questions. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at what was released this morning, and we're just going to kind of go one by one and explain a little bit about why we feel that real estate is going through a resurrection or resurgence, and it's positive. It's very encouraging. So we're going to jump over here to and share the screen share with you so that you can see that. And let's take one of these one at a time. So for here from the CrushIQ site, we see this screen here. And this is what you probably saw if you had a chance to go out and receive the email. Now, what I want to just talk about, frankly, is I just want to go down here and talk about each of these case studies. Selling when no one else is selling. So you probably saw this one. This one is pretty good. Now, what this one here in particular is about is it is about an agency assignment that we had, and this is and let me give you a little bit of background. This is a community, a private community that was having a grand opening weekend. And on that grand opening weekend, they wanted to target through Facebook. Now, remember, they had already built up a very active community on Facebook with our assistance. That took quite some time, but once we got them up and running, now they were ready to do something with it. And so what was able to happen was they scheduled this big grand opening weekend. And on this particular weekend, they were opening an amenity center, they were opening a large swimming pool, and all kinds of special activities. So the specially designed weekend, that is what we began to advertise through Facebook. Now, we targeted specific demographics. We did a lot of research about who, what, and where they had come from before. So now we were able to build very specific targeted advertising to get the couples booked to come down for these tours. Well, what was the result of all of this activity? The result was that we had more couples than they had in some time, and this was the result. The largest sales of month of the year, 24 properties totaling over $5.3 million in revenue. Now, it's interesting that to date, this particular property has had bigger months since then. A lot of it is coming from Facebook. They've had over 10,000 leads through Facebook, many of them calling or contacting the property on the basis of recommendations from people who are in the community. And we're seeing that. So while we're seeing a surgence in buyers, a lot of these buyers are either paying cash, they've been holding off for some time, and now they're realizing that, look, I got to pull the trigger here and do something. Interest rates are still very low, but the qualifying score to get loans now is so high that that's still taking a little bit of time to turn around. And foreclosures, we're not seeing, we're seeing those go down, but that's not a real positive yet. But some of these signs are showing that this is a very positive trend. And this property is extremely happy. Let's go back and look at another one of these, and so that we can get some more facts about it. This is interesting. Now, how social is driving web traffic. This is a very interesting campaign. This is another property here in North Carolina They're up by the Outer Banks, and they also were having trying to get traffic to their website. Actually, this is two of them. You'll see this one is from the Outer Banks. This is from another another property. But they started doing a spring type advertising, and they wanted to center this all around their community and coming to visit their community. And that advertising campaign went so well that they had booked over 60 event registrations for that weekend. They, in fact, had to create another weekend, and the results were that they had their largest month of sales in years again. So interesting how that this is starting to work. In fact, I'm going to post a picture later, but they actually sent us an email that said stop our ads. In fact, I'm just going to read it here to you. It says, we're sold out for our Open Doors and Garden weekend. 30 couples have already scheduled. Thanks for an awesome job. And they say stop our ads, all in caps. So pretty interesting. By the way, when it comes to Facebook advertising, here's a tip for you. Did you know that 700,000 Facebook status updates are made every 60 seconds? Every 60 seconds. So I've been talking for 6 minutes and 30 seconds right now. So do the math, but we're talking about a course of about 4 million, 3 to 4 million status updates in just the time you've been listening to my voice. So this is becoming a tremendous channel for web traffic, and these statistics will show you that for our clients that have completely bought in and leadership is fully supporting their social campaigns, we are seeing this kind of craziness where social channels, and we're starting to see mobile creep in here, is by far their number one referrer to their websites. So you can see here this is all Facebook, and combined here they're looking at 3,700, and the page time is very very good, and you see also new visit percentages are off the charts, and also bounce rates are lower than traditional. So when we talk about social and how it's driving web traffic, this is not a fluke. We're going to see more and more of this, and it's pretty cool, frankly. Okay, let's look at two more real quick here, and then I'll take some questions. This is spending less to make more. Now, again, this is another one where up in the Outer Banks, this is the one I was thinking about earlier, they needed to generate a greater amount of leads. And so they were looking at a lot of the traditional ways. In fact, a quick story, when we were visiting one of the real estate brokers there, we asked them, well, what are you doing now to generate leads? And they pointed over to a magazine that was sitting on their table there, you know, in their reception area. And I said, that's what you're doing to generate leads? And they said, yep. And I said, okay, show me what you're doing. So they opened it up to the middle of the book, and in the middle of that magazine, which is a quarterly magazine, was a big full color page ad. And I asked, Kelly and I were there, and I asked Kelly, I said, can you believe this? I said, how often are you paying for this? And they said, well, 4 times a year. And I said, and how much are you paying? And they said, $20,000. So 20 times 4 is 80,000. 80,000 times 2 years is $160,000. Now I asked them, in that last 2 years that you've been doing this, how many leads have you gotten off it? How many? Just give me a number. And they said 0. And I said 0. So does that sound like a good marketing strategy to generate leads, where you're spending almost $200,000 and you have got not one lead, not one tangible lead? And they said, well, no, it does not from a financial point of view. And I said, well, what other point of view is there? And they said, well, the reason why we do it is because everybody else is in there. And so if we're not, we look like we're invisible. And I said, wow, isn't it amazing how that suffocating some of these old traditional ways of marketing have blinded people. And then when we come and show them what works, they balk at spending a few $1,000s when they're throwing away hundreds of thousands of dollars. So this one is very interesting. When we did finally convince them to try it out, they saw a 500% increase in their web visits. Unbelievable. Had more sales than they have had. Again, these are great case studies. They've taken months for us to put together, so you can read them in their entirety after this. Now, let's get to our last one here. And that is this one. Go from no to no. And this seems like such a simple one to me, but we're still seeing where people think that social media is about posting or broadcasting and that's it. Well, we have, and that's, by the way, that's wrong, but we are seeing a few communities that are really starting to get engaged. They've really dialed in, dug in, and they are really putting a significant amount of effort into their community and building their community, inciting and encouraging people who live on site to get involved. And they're incentivizing that in different ways that are very cost effective. But they're trying to build a rock solid community. And so, for example, here's one where they have real people talking about this property. And so this particular person lives there, and even when the property or the community has jumped in, which is good, people jump in to ask the community members, how is this going? Are you pleased with it? Is it worth a trip? And it's convincing others to come down. So is it making the decision? No, we know better than that. Is it contributing to a sense of, I need to be here? Yes, it is. Here's another example. Here, this post went up about some of the new things that were going on at this property. And here, great community action. Great community action going on here. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody's talking about it. Lots of good conversations. And see, that's what we're talking about. When we talk about going from no to no, we're talking about it's not what you think. It's no broadcasting. It's about knowing your industry, knowing your community, and talking about things that your community wants to talk about. They're your friends, and some of our communities are really starting to get it. And so those are our case studies we wanted to share with you. There's a lot more detail that it's located in here. Feel free to share, or read, or drop us a note if you have any questions. But remember this, the worm has turned, as they say, and people are starting to use social media to buy real estate, to vet developers, and to find out exactly from community members, not the salesman, no marketing speak, but from real life people that live there, what is the truth about that particular property or location. And they are putting stock in it. So your competitors, they are pulling out the big timber, and they are really leaning on building vibrant social presences. It's no longer an option, it is a requirement. So what do we have to do? We've got to get involved and engaged too. So if you have any questions, we would love to hear them. If you have situations or problems that you'd like to talk about, please share them with us. We'd love to hear more about that too. So if there's anything I can do for you, this is Tim Moore at CrushIQ. Info at CrushIQ, or you can just go to our website, CrushIQ.com, and we'll be happy to be of assistance. Have a great day, and all of you in real estate, I hope you're encouraged by this great, great news.